Hello, what's up? It's the Brogster, and welcome to episode 3 of Brogster Quotes. Today I got a quote from Henry David Thoreau. Henry David Thoreau was born in 1817, and he really wanted to live the simple life. So he left society to live in the woods and to be with nature. And so you're going to see how much he cared about simplicity when I read this quote. So I'm going to get to reading it. I do believe in simplicity. It is astonishing as well as sad how many trivial affairs even the wisest man thinks he must attend to in a day. How singular an affair he thinks he must omit. When the mathematician would solve a difficult problem, he first frees the equation of all encumbrances and reduces it to its simplest terms. So simplify the problem of life. Distinguish between the necessary and the real. So he really preaches simplicity, and he really thinks that we overcomplicate life. We just kind of add a lot of fluff to life. It's like we just keep adding more air to our Lay's chip bag that is life. We just keep adding more and more air and less chips. And all this overcomplicating, all this excess in our life is just taken away from it. It's just making it worse. And so we should stop with all that. We should stop all these trivial affairs. But what are these trivial affairs? So let me give you some example. The 24/7 news cycle, it's pretty crap. That like consuming that on the regular is pretty trivial. I think the greatest, like, best example of a trivial affair in the modern age is keeping up with the Joneses. It seems everyone is like wanting. Okay, let me define keeping up with the Joneses. It's this idea that you want to maintain like a rich appearance and like seem rich and affluent and seem like you have a lot of money by like buying new things all the time and going out to eat, like new car, new clothes, new phone, new everything. And it seems everybody, I've noticed that a lot of people seem to be chasing that, um, and it's pretty ridiculous. You're you're just gonna spend all your money, and you're gonna impress people you don't even like probably. And another example, a perfect example in our modern age, is the phone. We got so much meaningless content at our fingertips with this stupid thing. We can consume so much bullshit that doesn't matter and adds so much triviality and excess and fluff to our life that doesn't need to be there. And yeah, another way to add triviality and just overcomplicate life is we think we need to buy things that we don't need. For some reason, we've been convinced that we need to buy bottled water, that we need to buy energy drinks. I don't know. Those are just two really good examples. Um, I really don't think I need a car wash. I never buy car wash. Like I looked into it today, like the benefits of car washing, and apparently it's good for like your paint and it can also reduce rust. So I can see why, if those benefits are real and the like where I read it wasn't just saying that to get me to buy a car wash, I can see why you'd want a car wash. But at the same time, it's fluff to buy a membership to a place when you could just take a hose at your house and like hose off your car. And so those are some examples. Ignore my tangent on car washing. I hate car washes. Um, I'm going to repeat a part of this quote. Distinguish the necessary and the real. So we're overcomplicating our lives with all this crap, with excessive social media consumption, with excessive buying, and we care about things that don't really matter. And again, we got to distinguish between the necessary and the real. So what's necessary? We got to ask ourselves, what's necessary? We're going to simplify our life. What do we actually need? Well, we need shelter, food, and water. Okay, so we need shelter, but we don't need a big house. We just need like four walls, a roof, and like a bed. And so you could live in a van, you could live in a car, and still technically have shelter. You don't even need a house. If you want to simplify it that far, you could live in the woods like Thoreau did. If you want to simplify that far, food, but you don't need to overcomplicate it by eating out all the time. Um, Arguably, making meals could be more complicated, but you can make it really simple. You could just buy beans. Dude, beans are really cheap. Like, man, you could live really cheap if you did that. I might have to do that. Anyways, water. We also need water, but we don't need to overcomplicate it by getting bottled water. We can just have like, here, give me a second. You could just have this. I'm gonna drink some right now, and just get free water everywhere. We don't need to get bottled water. So that's what's necessary in terms of like living. Like you need protection of some sort, shelter, you need food and water. But to be happy, what do you need? You need goals. The goals don't need to cost a lot of money. You could just like have a career, or if you want to get super buff, like I want to get super buff. I have all this like I want to like be able to run half full marathons. Why am I saying half? I've already done that. But your goals don't have to be super expensive. So it doesn't really take that much to be happy. Uh, and you also need socialization. But we're talking like people in real life. Don't overcomplicate it by having 200 Facebook friends. And so the point of what I'm trying to say here, the point of what Thoreau is saying by this, is we should not live superficial lives. We should not be adding all this triviality to our lives. Thoreau wants us to throw out all these meaningless affairs and like dig deeper into life, to simplify it. And like by simplifying it and getting rid of all this crap, getting rid of all this bullshit that we don't need, we get more out of life and we're gonna have a better time. So I want you to cut out some of your crap out of your life. I want you to like look at your phone usage and see, maybe I need an app to get rid of, to reduce all this meaningless expenditure of my time. Well, I recommend the Stay Focused app if you're going to do that. Not sponsored. I have no subscribers. I urge you to look at your spending habits and like see if you're buying things that you don't really need. And I want you to look at what you care about and see if you're caring about things that don't really matter and aren't that big of a deal. And like really look at it and see, is this really a big deal? Am I going to care about this in a day, a week, a month? Maybe if it's a bigger deal, a year? And like see if for what it really is, and trying to get so caught up in it. So yeah, that's what I want you to do. Simplify your life. Cut out the crap. Stop using your phone so much. Maybe look at your spending habits. Maybe cut out some purchases and try not to care about things that don't really matter. And that's basically it. Simplify your life. All right. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoy. I'll see you in the next one.